There it goes. Thank you for tuning in to Grapecast Volume 7. We are reviewing fruit beers tonight. Specifically, two things that we have in the gallery right now. One that we've had for quite a while. We've had the Stiegl Radler, which is a grapefruit beer out of Austria. And then also, just recently, we have tried and picked up the Shofferhofer, which is out of Germany, which is very similar, if you can see the labels there. It also has a grapefruit texture to it. I was looking at these beers earlier and looking at kind of a fruit beer guideline because that's quite different from what we're used to. We're always looking at IPAs and brown ales, that sort of thing. So fruit beers are a little bit different for us. You can't say how hoppy it is or whatnot, but one of the things that I found was some guidelines on a beer judge certification program, and we have Keely here today, and we also have Tony. So Keely, I know that recently I saw something briefly on Ashley's post about the beer judge certification program. I think she's doing some sort of event about that. Do you have any info on that?
Yeah, I think she's actually taking the exams to be a BJCP beer judge. It's pretty cool because they have these exams. They're written and tasting notes that kind of explore the technical aspects of brewing, the brewing process, and different styles of beer, characteristics, beer history. But really what the BJCP does is it tries to establish standardized processes to evaluate and rank beers, meads, and ciders. So that's pretty cool because there's this organization out there that's sort of saying, hey, look, these are the things that we should look at. And I think what you mentioned is interesting because they actually develop these style guidelines for different types of beers.
Yeah, definitely. And so we work with Ashley some on, she's one of our reps, and we get some really great beers from her, and also some of the events that she does with Girls Pine Out and quite a few other things, but we always see her around, so we're always thankful to have her around. So
we're always learning something new from her.
Oh yeah, for sure. So she's doing these things, I'm guessing, from the Facebook stuff. We can just find her on Facebook and figure that out.
I think so, yeah. She just took one of the exams a couple weeks ago. So.
All right, great. And then so tonight we're tasting the Stiegl Radler and the Shofferhofer. Tony, I know you've had the Stiegl before. Did you try the Shofferhofer at the gallery?
Yes, and I like it a lot. So I was reading the thing about their pronunciation, and yes. I guess it's how the hell was it? Shofferhofer.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Danielle, our rep, said Shofferhofer, and I kind of went with that because I had no idea how to say it. But yeah, so let's start with the Stiegl first. I know you've had this, and I think Sam, your wife, even likes this one as well, and she's not a beer person, so. And there she is with a thumbs up, liking it. So let's pour the Stiegl and just go ahead and get started with that. So, Keely, when we have the Stiegl at the gallery, it's one of the things that we really love having in our back pocket. I know you can attest to this. So it's one of those, if someone walks in and says, I need a specific beer and we don't have it, it's like a light beer, a beer that's made from a big company or whatnot, or they say that they like a Moscato or some sort of sweet wine, then we kind of pull this out of our back pocket of, you can't go wrong with this. So we definitely bet on this a lot, and we have for a long time. We had it in the cans for a while, but it was hard to get that in as easily as it was the bottles. So what is your experience with dealing with the clients as far as the Stiegl?
I've never had anybody turn this away. This is one of those beers that I'll gladly open and pour a couple of ounces and say, here, try this. If you don't like it, we'll give you something else. And everybody's like, oh, I love that. Let me have it.
Yeah, definitely, and that's always fun to do. And I always learn more and more about stuff. I thought that tonight we would just say how much we like one or the other and that there wasn't much to talk about. But researching the two different breweries, there's a lot of things going on here. The Stiegl, for example, it is, which one is this? This is the Hefeweizen one?
No, this is
No, I'm sorry. This is the Marzen one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 40% of Stiegl. How would you say it, Keely? You're our linguist here. You're Hispanic and traveled the world. So say it again.
Goldbrow.
Goldbrow.
Brow. Yeah, like your eyebrow kind of.
Goldbrow. Okay, and I don't know of any other beers. I know that we've had the Marzen beer. Tony, have you had a lot of Marzen beers that you've enjoyed, or?
No, I mean, the only one I remember was the one that you all had, that you carried for a little bit. I mean, I don't even remember what it tastes like.
Yeah.
We had it around October because the Marzen are the Oktoberfest kind of beers.
Yeah, apparently Marzen means March, and before refrigeration there was limited production time of beer, so they would make it in March and try to preserve it until October, so hence the Marzen Oktoberfest. But so the Stiegl Radler is what we normally just say is a Radler is a juice mixed with a beer. It's a little bit more than that as we look at it more today. This is something that I've learned today. I mean, we've had this on our menu for a year and a half, but something I learned that it was a Marzen mixed with grapefruit juice. Well, no, not grapefruit juice. It's 60% lemonade. So that's interesting. That gives it that tart flavor that some people think tastes like a grapefruit juice. But I've also had some people say that it tastes like an orange soda. So being next to the Mass General store and people come and go in there trying to get those sodas and those little things, I think that people really relate to the little orange soda qualities. I've heard people say that. And also with that cream soda that we have, the Summer Solstice by Anderson Valley. And Keely, we are getting your blood goza in soon. I know you're excited about that. We got your even kill in today. I know you're really excited about that.
I'm so excited I had to get one.
Where did you find it? You found it at Greens?
Yeah, it's at Greens.
Good. So anything that you've discovered about the Stiegl today that you didn't remember? I know that we don't taste our beers every day or our wines every day, so.
I just say I don't know why I tell people it's like an orange crush, because to me it's so much more refreshing than that and not as like sort of icky sweet as a orange crush kind of soda. Like to me it's really more, I get, maybe it's just because I read it in that power suggestion, but it's more that lemonade kind of thing.
Yeah, and Tony, do you have any other reasoning to drink this besides the low alcohol content and the low calorie content and it being hot as heck here?
Well, I mean, it's just very refreshing. Well, what's funny is earlier today I was just kind of thinking about the tasting and about how in my head it was going to be like comparing different sodas. But, you know, now that I'm sitting here drinking it, as like Keely said, it's not as sweet as I remember it for whatever reason, and it's a little more complex. And I was actually kind of pairing them with these Trader Joe's gummy penguins.
Nice.
And so, you know, and so after eating one, it cuts away all the sweetness so you can kind of taste the beer underneath, which I don't think you get when you just drink it straight.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and that's something that we're working on right now. I know Keely and I are trying to push it out. We're working with Mass General Store, which is next door to us, on a beer and candy tasting. So one of the things that we would be doing is, of course, pairing up the chocolate roasty type beers with the caramels and the chocolates, but an IPA when you blast it with some sort of sour candy, that really is good. It's going to be interesting. I've tried that this weekend, and it was pretty phenomenal. But like Tony said, you can taste all the other flavors underneath it. So maybe we need to pay more attention to the Marzens that are coming out in October. I just saw a Foothills presentation, and they were talking about some of their new beers, and they're actually having the barrel-aged sexual chocolate that comes out on August 8th. So there's people that stand in line for that stuff. And then after that, they're working on their Marzen to come out at the end of the year. So we'll have to look for that. But okay, so yeah, the Stiegl Radler is something that we love. We have people that come in and buy this by the case and take it to the beach. And we love that they do that. And also our lake people love it as well. And then one of the interesting things, and we'll post this on our notes later, is the history behind the Stiegl Brewery. They have a lot of different beers, not just the Radler, which we're used to, and they also have it's a lemon base in their portfolio, but I haven't seen much of that around. But Salzburg is a really old city, and they talk about Mozart has even tasted the Stiegl. So the history behind it is really cool. It dates back to the 1400s, and then again comparing it to the thing that I watched earlier as far as the foothills. They're talking about some of the oldest breweries in North Carolina are 6 years old. So 1400s versus 6 years old. That's pretty remarkable. But we're still drawing from the same flavor profiles and the same styles of beers and just develop them as we like. Is that Lipton or one of the crazy ones going crazy?
Sorry, I'm trying to tone them out, but even a Grapecast can't keep them down.
No, it can't. It definitely can't.
But Salzburg is an amazing city, and I probably spent a week there. And
oh yeah, tell us about that.
Apparently, every beer there comes from the Stiegl Brewery, but I don't recall the name ever until a year ago or so when the Radler came in. And I don't even at this point I just call this beer Stiegl, and I didn't think about all the different other beers that the brewery makes. So I guess it's important to differentiate between the Grapefruit Radler and if we're outside of the four walls that we normally are in.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think we should all take a field trip over and see what it's all about. But we'll wait for Tony to win the lottery or whatnot. But yeah, they talk about Mozart even drinking this beer, which I think is amazing. And they reference that the reason that they knew that was from his sister's diaries, and they were talking about going to watch Skittles, which I didn't know what Skittles were. It's a sport that's similar to bowling. It's like the predecessor to bowling. So that's pretty cool. So then let's switch over to the Shofferhofer real quick. I know that we're probably pushing on time right now, but the Shofferhofer compared to the Stiegl definitely looks very refreshing. A lot of the clients go after what the bottle looks like and what it looks like inside. So if they're new to beer and they're new to craft beer, then they're looking for something sweeter and something that's easier on the palate, lower alcohol content. They don't want to jump into a 10% IPA if they don't know what the heck it is. So especially if they're not used to it. So this one is a little bit darker as far as like orange content. Let's do a side by side right there. That's the Stiegl right there on my right, and then the Shofferhofer. So the Shofferhofer, we were I'll pour it in the glass so you can see it. Yep, right there. So the Shofferhofer, doing some research on that, it's very similar. Stiegl is from Austria, which is a border country of Germany, and then Shofferhofer is actually from Germany. So it is made of the Shofferhofer Hefeweizen beer and grapefruit juice. Am I remembering that right, Keely?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you. That sounds like what it is. So Hefeweizen is just a wheat beer that's unfiltered, and then plus the juice or whatnot. But this one is a little bit different for me. The alcohol content is basically the same. It's very refreshing, very citrusy. But Tony, what are your thoughts on the Shofferhofer?
I don't know. Again, it's kind of weird because for whatever reason, I just remembered both of them being so much sweeter than they're tasting right now. They Schoffer the Hoffa. I think I like the way it looks. To me, it's a little sweeter, I think, than the Stiegl. It definitely tastes a little bit more of grapefruit. I think after you said that the Stiegl is half lemonade, then it tastes more lemony than it does grapefruity. But I mean, they're both equally good, I think.
Yeah, I do. Keely, what are your thoughts? I'm tasting a little bit different now. I'm tasting something different on this Shofferhofer that's, and I haven't really tasted much because I'm not really much on the sweet stuff, but so when I taste it, it's very far and few between or whatever. But what do you think as far as the difference?
I mean, I think you get a lot of the like the wheat beer kind of Hefeweizen flavors coming through.
Yeah.
Not so much on the banana, but almost like a clove kind of like almost on the cloves on the nose. But then I think I agree with Tony. It seems a lot. I guess what we just say sweeter than the Stiegl. But I'm looking at the alcohol. It's about 5% too, so it's a little higher on the alcohol content than Stiegl. But you certainly don't taste it.
Is it that high? I have it. Mine says 2.5.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing then.
Oh, you might be looking at their at the Hefeweizen that's.
Oh, that's the Hefeweizen they mix it with, huh?
Yeah, that they mix it with. But I'm tasting a lot more of that. But mine is probably a bit warmer than you guys. I'm tasting a lot more of the Hefeweizen and the clove that you were talking about.
Mine's been out. Mine's been out for half an hour or so. So.
Yeah, and then I was looking at their promotional items, and one of the things that we've talked about recently is that, with these microbrews, we talk about the macro brews as the Budweisers and the Millers and all of that stuff. So they're producing on a mass level, and then you have these people that start as home brews, and then they develop into like small breweries, craft breweries, because they're really wanting to get the different flavors and tastes out there. So we talk about how limited sometimes the supply is. So sometimes these things are limited, and hopefully we get a shipment in before we have our tasting on Thursday. So it should be coming tomorrow. Thank you, Danielle. But so we're talking about this stuff, but I really don't even know what I was going with that. But I know that some of the stuff that we look at is the advertisements, and a lot of times all of the advertisements, and I've seen in my Facebook feed even a lot of Shofferhofer, as far as this is a refreshing drink, is just pushing the Shofferhofer grapefruit intensely, and I think that eats up in the market, and then there's like limited supply that comes out of it. But one of the things that they were pushing is, how clean and everything that it was. But I mean, I really like the taste of it, but I don't know. I mean, it's got a lot of sugar in it.
There were a couple ladies the other week that compared it to a wine cooler.
Yeah, so is the wine cooler a craft beer? I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. But then some of their advertising they were using is showing how else to use it besides just drinking it. I mean, they were showing all of these different ways that you can combine it with liquor drinks. And one of the things that I've heard as far as the Stiegl is that I can't remember which bar around town that was doing it. They were advertising that you would get like a shot of tequila or something. Do you remember that, Keely? They were advertising a shot of tequila with a Stiegl Radler to mix it in, like to drink the neck out of it and then fill it with tequila.
No,
or something.
I didn't hear that, but I have heard a Stiegl and a Bubbles, like champagne mix, like a version on the mimosa.
Well, that's a pretty cool idea. I don't know. Tony, do you drink any liquor, like hard liquor stuff? Can you imagine mixing this with liquor?
I mean, I can't imagine adding tequila to it. But
Did you just Mexican Madras, or what is it? Madras?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it could work when I'm kind of thinking about how tequila sort of tastes. I mean, an obvious thing might be vodka, but to me, that would be only if you wanted to make it higher alcohol content, because vodka wouldn't necessarily add any flavor. But some of those recipes that you had sent, some of those sounded cool. Like I could see using this as a mixed drink sort of component, as opposed to like how you might drink a Jack and Coke or something.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of the cool things on the. So for the Stiegl side, we got a lot of their history. We got since 1400s history, and then the Shofferhofer, I mean, they were pushing their advertisements as different ways that they could use it. So one of the things that they showed were different mixed drinks that you could do using the Shofferhofer grapefruit beer. And the more that mine warms up and that it's sitting here, I definitely can taste the clove and stuff on the back end. So it would be interesting to see how it would work with these different liquors and stuff. Tony, one of the things that, I mean, you know this as far as advertising is concerned. When I looked at their images of their cocktails, every single one of them, it didn't matter what it was, it looked amazing, and it was photography, I'm sure. Do you have any photography throwouts to hit with us? I know we try to always take pictures of ourselves, of our kids, or of our food, of our beer. I mean, that's all we take pictures of. So.
I guess one thing for people is to not feel bad when their pictures don't look like the ones you see like on, like in a magazine or whatever, because they use like food stylists and like they build the food out of other stuff, like with beer pictures, typically flat beer photographs better than an actual beer, or they'll sprinkle salt on it to increase bubble formation. So they do a lot of stuff that you're not going to do at the bar when you take a picture of your drink.
Definitely.
But like an easy thing to do if you want to take a nice picture of your drink is to just try to have some light coming in behind it, because that sort of illuminates the content. And I mean, there's no cheating involved. I mean, that's one easy thing you can do. And if you're taking a picture of the drink, get close to the drink. Simple stuff like that.
Awesome. Thank you. Tony is a great photographer. I've told people often that I only look good if Tony's following me around all day. So we appreciate all that he does for us. And okay, so we're going to wrap this up because I'm sure it's gone long and I didn't even start a clock yet. So just to let you know some of the next Grapecast coming up. We're going to ask our painters tomorrow if they don't mind us doing a live session tomorrow. So we will have painters painting, and they're going to be painting one of our new paintings, the Sandbar, with Allison Fowler. So we'll have that going as long as everyone agrees. We'll see how that goes. We'll definitely have a Grapecast live session on Friday, which is August the 7th. Hopefully Jim will be in town. He'll be able to join us for that. We'll be celebrating our best and IPA day. So we'll have an IPA bar downstairs where we'll have the Grapecast going there. So also we have a special guest lined up for a wine version of our Grapecast on August 17th. Keely, can you tell us a little bit about this without saying too much? Ooh, I'm cheersing myself over here with this Shofferhofer and this grapefruit.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see sort of the direction we're going with wine, and all I'm going to say is there's some big things coming up starting at the end of August, and especially Wednesday, August 26th, we're going to be kicking off our wine club. So if you're not already on the Team Grapes group on Facebook, you might want to consider joining. Just look for Team Grapes. Basically, what that does is we give you sort of first access to all the epic tastings. Those are really big tastings, not just the ones we have every week. And we give you the inside scoop on what's going on. So stay tuned to Team Grapes and our events on Facebook for some of the wine events coming up.
Awesome. Thanks, Keely. Keely's in charge of marketing. Are you director of marketing or marketing manager? What's your status today? What's up?
I feel like I've been promoted today, so let's go director.
Director of marketing. Awesome. And Tony is director of all images, everything images. So that's good. Okay, and then another thing that we're going to release soon is recently we decided we were going to do 18 by 24 canvases because, of course, also in addition to drinking craft beer and wine and learning everything we can about it, we originally started with the art part. So we do have painting sessions every night, despite some of our drinkers' belief. So instead of our smaller 11 by 14 canvases, we're doing an 18 by 24 canvas. We're calling it Painting Partners and Pints. So we have a video coming out of me and Allison Fowler painting together on an 18 by 24 canvas, just showing you how it could be done for the 8/22 event, which is a Saturday. So we only have 10 people that can, or 10 canvases that can be signed up for that session. It's $60 with a $10 bar credit. So each person can have a pint of beer or more. Who are we to say what you can have in one night? So and then also just make sure you join us on Friday for our Celebrate Our Best party and IPA day. We'll have our Grapecast live and go in there. That'll be our first live event. So I guess that's enough. Anything y'all want to say about anything? Anybody got anything?
My timer's going off in the background.
You're what now?
My timer's going off in the background.
Yeah, it's saying it's time. It's time. Tony, anything? Does Sam have anything to add, or are we good?
No, I think we're good. Hopefully we see everyone come out on Friday. Oh wait.
Come to the gallery on Friday.
Oh gosh, has she been in the sauce? She's on the sauce.
Yeah. I think the Shofferhofer hit her just right.
Just right. Well, okay, so maybe on Friday we can get Sam in on the Grapecast downstairs and see what she thinks about the Shofferhofer before she jumps into anything else. So.
And stay tuned for an awesome video of the painting partners with Al and Anna painting. It's coming up.
Yeah, you got it done?
Almost.
Awesome. Make sure you cut the sound on that, because I was talking bad about a lot of people. So yeah, and I constantly was saying, like, why am I talking about people? Okay, so say what? Yeah, cheers. Great, cheers. Here's to Garnet. Hopefully that we get to broadcast tomorrow so that she can paint along with us. We've missed her. And cheers to everyone else. I know who else. Pam is home now, and everyone's been around all week. So yeah, there we go. Cheers. And here's to Jim. And Jim. Photoshop Jim. Photoshop Jim. Photoshop Jim.
Will it work?
All right, I'm gonna close this down and I'm going to stop it right now. Stop it. Stop.